Muslims try all the time to show by all kinds of evidence that Islam is a valid idea. Since when? Jerusalem is theirs. Was there even one day in history when any Arab or Muslim king reigned from Jerusalem? Our story of the religious roots of the Israeli-Palestinian dispute, the story starts sometime around the year of 610 CE, when a person named Muhammad bin Abdullah in Mecca started preaching to his tribe, Quraysh, in his town, trying to sell them a new religion named Islam. However, the stories, the legends, the rules, and the ideas which he brings them remind them very well of Jews and Christians. So they accuse him for recycling the legends of the first ones. Asatir al-awwalin means the Jews and the Christians. What do you tell us about Noah and the ark? What do you tell us about Abraham and Ishmael? About Joseph and that lady in Egypt? All these stories we know already. And if you read the Quran, you can see it very well. From the very beginning of Islam, Islam was under question mark whether it is a real religion or no more than a copy of Judaism and Christianity. And if you read the Quran, you actually have a very deep feeling of polemics, which Muhammad was actually arguing. Yas'alunaka means they ask you or they give you a hard time by questioning you about this. Answer them, tell them such and such. It repeats itself in the Quran many times. Means the Quran echoes the fact that Muhammad was in a polemic all his life, trying to establish the idea that Islam is a valid idea. Another way how to establish the idea that Islam is a valid religion was to undermine the validity of Judaism and Christianity. By undermining the validity of those former religions, the only religion which will remain will be Islam. And it is actually embedded in the Quran, in the verse which says, Inna dina indallah al-Islam, means religion at Allah's is, in brackets, only Islam. Means Judaism and Christianity are void. So this is actually the main idea, I think, until this very day, where Muslims try all the time to show by all kinds of evidence that Islam is a valid idea, while the others, Judaism and Christianity, are not existing anymore. Islam, according to this view, came to the world not to live side by side with Christianity and Judaism. It came to the world rather to replace them and to build itself with the ruins of Judaism and Christianity, using the ideas of monotheism, using the people who were part of Judaism and Christianity. This is why Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and David and Solomon and Jesus were all Muslims, because Judaism and Christianity are cancelled retroactively. So all those who believed ever in one single God, what else would they be if not Muslims? And of course, King Solomon built a mosque in Jerusalem, according to this rewriting of history, according to the Islamic view. So this is the mindset which accompanies Islam since the beginning of more or less 610 CE until this very day. This is why they object any digging in the Temple Mount, lest Jews might find a proof that Judaism was there or is there before Islam. Their view to building in Jerusalem is something which is unique to Muslims. Why? In their view, since Judaism lost its validity, Jews lost everything which they might have had in history, especially the land of Israel. So some road accidents happened during the last century. First of all, Jews started to come to their homeland after they were sent to exile by the Romans almost 2,000 years ago. This is the first road accident. The second accident happened in 1948 when the state was established. The third road accident happened in 1967 when Israel and the Jews took Jerusalem, including the Temple Mount. What will be the next step? They will rebuild their temple. And thus, Judaism will come back to life as it was 2,000 years ago. What will be with Islam? Because if Islam came to the world to replace them, to replace the Jews, they cannot fathom the fact that Judaism comes back to life in such a form of holding to the Jewish capital. And this is the source of what happens today about Jews. It's not about territory. It's not about national rights. It's not about legal rights. It's about religion. Because anything which Jews are doing in Eretz Israel, in the land of Israel in general, and in Jerusalem in particular, poses a danger on the mere being of Islam as a religion, or the valid religion, which came to the world, according to their mindset, to replace Judaism and Christianity. This is why those Palestinians, when they go around in demonstrations, they carry these clothes around their necks, which state that Al-Quds Lana, Jerusalem is ours. Since when? Jerusalem is theirs. Was there even one day in history when Jerusalem was the place of any caliph or emir or sultan or any Arab or Muslim king who reigned from Jerusalem? Not even one single day. On the opposite, the capital of Jund Palestine, means the district of Palestine, since the Islamic occupation of 638, was the city of Ramla, 30 miles to the west from Jerusalem. So since when do they claim that Jerusalem should be the capital of the Palestinian state, which don't see it? However, not only this, even the Mufti of Jerusalem in 1930, but it has former versions, published this book. This is the original. A brief guide to Al-Haram al-Sharif, Jerusalem. I have it online, but I will read one sentence, which he writes in this, and this is clear English. He says this: its identity, means the Haram, this place, its identity with the site of Solomon's temple is beyond dispute. This too is the spot, according to the universal belief on which, and here he quotes a verse from 2 Samuel, David built an altar unto the Lord and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. This was published in 1930. This is the original. In 1930, they didn't see the dangers yet or the road accidents yet. Today, they claim that Jews were never in Jerusalem. There was never a haikal, means a temple. And the connection between Jews and Jerusalem is a Zionist concoction when the Zionists wrote the Bible after 1948. This is the discourse. And go now, try to prove that there are translations of the Bible from the 3rd century BCE. The Septuaginta, for example, or the Vulgata to Latin from the 1st century. Okay? So they don't let facts disrupt their religious theories. And this is what we have to face today. The religion and nothing but.